Hey everybody, and welcome back to Your Golden Buddha. So, I learned this trick recently that helps me rewire my brain, and it's to look at my brain like a social media algorithm. So, when you're on social media and you like or you comment on a video or you watch the entirety of it, what it's doing is it's signaling to the algorithm that that's what you want more of. And so, we can look at our brains in much the same way. What we like, what we engage with in our everyday lives is what we're going to notice more of. And what's interesting, this isn't just a way of looking at our brains, it's just a helpful mental trick, but there's an actual science behind this. Your brain has something called the RAS, the reticular activating system. Every day, our mind is taking in millions and millions of bits of information. But the thing is, our minds can't actually process all of this. That'd be far too much. So, what our subconscious mind does is it filters out almost all of it. Now, I was shocked when I found this out, but the actual science is we have 11 million bits of data per second coming into our brain. But the thing is, only 40 to 50 bits actually makes it into our mind. That is a fraction of the reality that we have around us. And what do you think causes this filter? What do you think creates it? It's us. It's our conditioning. It's our programming. It's our beliefs. All of this dictates how we interact with the world, but it also dictates what we interpret from the world. And so we need to learn to start engaging with our lives consciously rather than letting our subconscious mind, our programming in life, take over for us. Because otherwise we'll wake up one day and we'll be sad, we'll be miserable, and we have no idea why. But the thing is we can actually train this. Just like we can start training our social media algorithms to show us more puppy videos and uplifting news, we can do the same thing with our minds. Rather than focus on what's not going well in our lives, what's not going well in the world, we can start focusing on what is going well. Now, the thing is, the RAS doesn't filter based on truth, it filters based on what we've trained it to do. So, if you're always scanning for danger, likely you're going to be seeing more danger. If you see why everyone is terrible, you're going to see more of that. Because what you look for in earnest, you will find. That's what I think I found the most in this. What I was doing before is I was so focused on symptoms. Now, as you all know, when you get sick, like if you have the flu or you have the cold, all you can think about is your stuffy nose. You think of the body aches, all of that. Now imagine you had that for years. That's essentially what I've been living with. And I thought that was just my objective reality. I thought I'd just be always focused on these because that's what garnered the most attention. You know, if you put your hand on a hot stove, you're going to be thinking about how hot that stove is. But the thing is you're forgetting about the other 99% of your body. That's totally fine. All the pain signals are thinking, hey, we got to focus on this hand. And so even though it was difficult, I started noticing how often I was focused on symptoms. I would wake up in the morning and my first thoughts would be, oh, how am I feeling? How tired am I? How puffy is my face? How much do my joints hurt? What are the flu-like symptoms like? Now, this is not a great place to get yourself into a good mental state. A lot of people wake up on the Saturday and they're thinking, oh, I get to go see friends later today, or I get to relax, I get the day off. But every day for me was waking up and thinking, wow, let's figure out what parts of my life am I miserable in. Look at how depressed I am. Look how anxious I am. Now, yes, having chronic illness does mean that you are going to be more inclined to look at these things. Because again, hand on hot stove, you're going to focus on the hand on the hot stove. But the thing is, you don't have to. So I started looking at this like mental training. I wanted to change my life from within. And so, as a result, I started rewiring what my brain's algorithm was seeing. Rather than the pain, the sadness, the depression, all of this, I started focusing on what was good around me. When I was out with friends, maybe I would typically be thinking about how tired I am, or how I don't really feel any emotions, or whatever it may be. And instead, I started basically gaslighting myself in a healthy way, saying, no, look how much you love being out with them. Look how much you feel. And although I didn't feel that at first, I noticed that over time, I started feeling more of it. And there's still plenty of days, plenty of times where it still feels like I'm faking it. That happens. But my brain is just trying to go back to its old patterning, and whenever it does, I just try and refocus it. So, take a look at your own life. What are you focusing on in your life? Is it how someone wronged you? Is it about how miserable you are at work? Is it how lost you are? Is it how depressed you are? You don't know where you're going with your life. Or are you focused about how much you love life? Are you focused on how beautiful the colors are? How great it is that it's summer right now, that you can go out and do outdoor activities with friends? Now, all of this comes down to you. You get to choose what you want to focus on. You can absolutely make yourself more miserable focusing on the things that aren't good. But you can also focus on the positives and make your perspective much lighter. You can change the lens through which you're viewing the world. And you see, that's the shift. We're moving from unconscious observer to conscious creator. And what I've started doing is something that I call value tagging. So if I'm out doing something that I want to enjoy, that I want to do more of, say it's getting ice cream with friends, or it's watching a movie with my family. When I'm doing those things, I'll make sure to be focusing on telling myself, wow, I love doing this. I'll try and elevate my emotions and feel whatever I can. Most of the time, it's still pretty numb. I'm working through that, but I've started to catch greater and greater glimpses of times where I'm like, you know what, yeah, I actually do feel more. I do feel happy about getting to spend time with friends or family. And what value tagging does over time is it signals to my brain that we should be focusing on these things. So rather than being out with friends and thinking about, oh, I can't eat this ice cream because of my diet, yada, 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 instead I'm focused on, wow, it smells amazing in here. You can smell the fresh waffle cones getting made. And so by slowly shifting little moments like that in our lives, we can slowly shift our perspective. And as we talked last time, by slowly shifting our perspective, slowly shifting our beliefs, our biology changes, our lives change. Yes, it is a fake it till you make it type situation, but all you need to do is just slow down enough to be able to consciously choose how you want to feel in that moment. The decision is yours. So, you see a dog barking as it plays with a kid, and you smile a little bit to yourself. You're with friends, and you look around and think, wow, how awesome it is that I get to spend time with them. Or you hug a family member and think, wow, it's amazing having these guys in my life. These little moments are the repetitions that change our brain, that change our algorithm. This value tagging is what completely shifts what we look for in the world. What you look for in earnest, you will find. But if you're looking for the misery, if you're looking for the sadness, if you're looking for the reasons to be depressed in this world, you're going to find plenty of those resources. Look at the news. 99% of what they post is terrible stories. What's going wrong in the world? And the thing is they're targeting another area of your brain that's focused on these things, the fear center. So they know to sell more newspapers, to get more viewers on TV, they need to start targeting it toward that more. So the good positive news normally gets glossed over, whereas the fear-based stuff draws people in. So what you see on the news is a misrepresentation of what you see in the world. And our brains are doing much the same thing. But value tagging doesn't work if your self-talk is trashing everything that you do. So if you go out with friends and you think, wow, this person's annoying me, or you go eat food and think, that wasn't cooked to my liking, you're going to get more of that. The self-talk has to balance and work with what you're trying to accomplish. So when you go out and do these things, start talking to yourself from the perspective of what you want to feel. I think one of the most interesting things for me as of recent is I realized how difficult it is to get my brain to relax. Now, whenever I try and relax, if I watch TV, if I watch a movie, the urge to go and grab my phone is so strong. And so for years, I would tell myself, wow, it's just tough for me to relax. There's just so much going on. And it would feel like this inner tension of, gosh, I really know I got to be focusing on this. But at the same time, my mind was thinking, okay, what am I going to do later? What am I going to do tomorrow? What can I write about? And I would start trying to plan the future instead of live in this moment. But self-talk teaches your brain what you want it to feel. So while I'm trying to relax, rather than letting my brain wander off and think about what I'm going to do tomorrow or what I'll be talking about later or some future plans, instead, I'll start talking to myself and saying, I'm safe to relax. I'm okay now. Things are safe. And so as I do this, I notice my body can relax a little bit. And over time, I've noticed small changes. Now, yes, while I'm watching TV, while I'm watching a movie, I still do feel the pull to open up my phone. But the thing is, I've noticed it change little by little. And that's what's important. These changes happen slowly, but they do happen if you keep practicing the right things. You trained your mind to be like this, you can train it to do something else as well. When you're hanging out with friends, think about how much connection and love you feel with these guys. When you're with your family, rather than thinking about what annoys you, start focusing on what you love about them. And when you're out doing something you usually enjoy, for me it's golf, I start telling myself how much I love being out here. Now all of these are the little reps that change our brain, that rewire our brain's algorithm. And over time, the change will happen. This is how you move from reacting to designing. You're no longer just coping with life, unconsciously going through it. Now you're curating it, and you have a process that can help you do this. Thanks for tagging along today, guys. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Don't forget to check us out on Instagram, TikTok, and other social media. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Take care.